Castlevania is a legendary franchise that has withstood the test of time. It continues to impress and challenge gamers decades after its initial introduction. What's most noteworthy of the Castlevania franchise is the astounding level of quality. Nearly every non-pachinko entry in the series is excellent, and is a total blast to play even to this day. Very few gaming franchises can continue to deliver epic experiences after all this time like Castlevania has. But this video will focus on one specific entry, one that has been the butt of many jokes and is often regarded as the worst game in the franchise. Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is my absolute favorite Castlevania game, and I'm gonna explain why. It originally launched in Japan in the year 1987, then in the United States the following year on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The hate the game has received was for a variety of reasons. For one, it strayed pretty far from the first game's formula of beating levels in an arcade-like, linear fashion. In Simon's Quest, you explore the land of Transylvania, traversing through forests, caves, swamps, and graveyards. Konami tried something new and added RPG elements. In Castlevania 3: Dracula's Curse, the game returned to the original's formula of beating level after level. Another thing people disliked about the game was the lack of clear direction as to what to do next or how to do it. It was also easy to become lost as there was no in-game map that explained your location as it relates to other areas of significance. Making matters worse is the fact that the game's dialogue only provided extremely cryptic and vague guidance on how to progress. Spelling errors also didn't help. Back in my day, we didn't have the internet to help us out when we got stuck. We had to talk to our friends at school or buy strategy guides. Oh, and of course the angry video game nerd's video of this game seemed to forever doom it to trash tier status. His video has over 12 million views.
This game sucks. Castlevania 1 and 3 are great classic Nintendo games, but for Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, the game designers obviously were not thinking straight.
Personally, I feel like a lot of the hate this game gets is unwarranted and unfair. Let's flash back to 1988 when I was a kid and played Simon's Quest for the first time. I immediately fell in love with the way this game looked, played, and sounded. And the music! The music is some of the best I've ever heard in a video game, and all the various metal covers for Bloody Tears are downright excellent. Atmosphere, atmosphere, atmosphere. This game has tons of it, and the whole world feels realized and lived in. I just love the whole idea of this game, that you were tasked to collect the various parts of Dracula that were scattered across the land, so you can resurrect him and defeat him once again to lift the curse. There are towns littered throughout Transylvania with various NPCs you can talk to. When night falls, the villagers retreat inside their homes because legions of the undead wander the streets. It's intriguing how they just find a way to adapt to living in a world where horrifying monsters are everywhere. I just love the day and night system this game has. The enemies are weaker during the day, and they drop smaller hearts, which acts as in-game currency. This makes you think about when you should depart the town you're currently in. Do you leave at night to maximize your heart and experience earnings, or do you leave during the day when it's safer and take less risk? This day and night cycle has never been used in a Castlevania game since. I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity. You rarely feel safe as enemies are everywhere, and unlike other Castlevania games, there's no wall chicken. The only healing item in the game isn't an item, it's a location, a church. I can't think of any other game where the only way to heal yourself is to visit a church and talk to a priest. The 5 Dracula parts are located in various mansions. You'd think that going into a mansion would be a good thing. Well, not when the mansion looks like this. Holy crap, this seriously creeped me out as a kid. Decaying corpses hanging from the ceiling, that made me feel super uneasy and want to get out of there fast. You eventually pick up awesome weapons such as the Sacred Flame, which creates a wall of fire that hits enemies multiple times, and a Flame Whip, which does massive damage. A freaking Flame Whip! Why this isn't in more Castlevania games, I'll never know, but holy crap, it's awesome, what a cool weapon. When you eventually reach Dracula's castle, it feels very eerie as it's completely abandoned and devoid of life. There are no monsters at all, just a foreboding sense of dread. This game is not terribly difficult either, once you know where to go and what to do. With that being said, I find it the perfect game to unwind to. Seriously though, there are only 3 actual bosses in the game, and 2 of them you can just walk right past. If you do defeat those 2 optional bosses, they drop a rare item that can only be found by beating that boss. Dracula is also a piece of cake to handle as long as you have either the Sacred Flame or the Gold Dagger. Even though I love it, the game is far from perfect. The aforementioned dialogue is more confusing than helpful. There is no in-game map. The transitions between day and night interrupt gameplay, and there's excessive slowdown in some areas. I personally don't mind the day and night transitions since they gave us the epic quotes, "What a horrible night to have a curse," and "The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night." Nearly all of the problems I just mentioned with the game have been fixed by a ROM hack called English Retranslation plus Map. It even adds a really cool prologue that sets the stage for the game's story. The link to this ROM hack is in the description below. It turns a game I already love into a game that I love more. It's simply a masterpiece in my eyes. Hopefully this video and ROM hack will make some people rethink their opinions of this game and maybe give it a second or even a first look. Simon's Quest has always been one of my favorite games, and in my opinion, it has aged like a fine wine. Especially with the introduction of this ROM hack, I find it to be a perfect game to play to unwind. You can kind of zone out while playing as it doesn't demand a lot of skill to beat, just some memorization. So thanks for watching, and remember to fire up some Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest for the NES and explore the unforgiving lands of Transylvania. I'll see you again soon.